Hi, welcome back. It's day 8 of NaNoWriMo, and we are finishing up our time on Curacao from our heroes. I just want to take a quick note real quick before I go to the story. I actually pre-wrote this. I know I've been writing it on screen for you guys, and that's probably part of the appeal. So you're probably wondering why in the world the video is much shorter than the others. It's because I've already written tonight's scene. I actually, last night before I finished uploading day 7's video, I went to Facebook and I saw something that a post that really bothered me, and it really, I spent all day pretty upset. I'm not going to get into the details. That's personal, but I didn't think I was going to write anything, and I honestly wasn't sure if I would even finish NaNoWriMo. It was just one of those kind of debilitating moments where I ended up going for a 10-mile walk. Took some pictures of iguanas and things, which is pretty cool, but my heart wasn't in this. And finally, about 10:30, kind of pulled myself together and said, you know what, let's just get this done. But I'm pretty sure I'm done with the videos because I am not really getting the views that I need for this to make sense. And so if you are enjoying the series, I do apologize that I'm not going to record any more of these. I will probably likely go back to my Wide Rider series at some point because that is doing better with viewers and in general, but probably not anytime terribly soon. But I wanted to get something done because I did write the scene, and I want to make sure you all had a chance to see where we're at now. We did get our character seeing sighting incident, which is my main goal for doing this, is for that to happen. But it's been a rough day, and I'm okay now. And I think the point is sometimes when we decide to write, sometimes you're going to have to write not only in the happy times, but also in the emotionally destructive times too. The scene is not, I don't think, is really influenced by that. I think the scene is still ultimately in line with what we've been doing so far, so you're not going to see a drop in quality or anything like that. In fact, if anything, I think by doing it off camera, I probably did a little better with the language, so I gave myself some time to think it through. But which is normally what I would do if I weren't, on the spot like that. But anyway, I just kind of want to clarify that I'm probably not going to do any more videos on this. And if you do want to see more, just you can subscribe, and I'll make announcements when the book is done, and you can read the whole thing then. So we did 830 words today. I did it all pretty much at 11 o'clock. And I stopped right before midnight, which is why I didn't go further. But it's fine. You can probably freeze frame my journal if you want to see what the day was really like. But anyway, well, I'm going to play day 8. I'm just going to read you what I have, and then that way you'll know where we are, and so you won't have any questions. So here we go. So Jack followed the others back to the inn, checking over his shoulder for pursuers and for flying fish. The happy play bodies dipped and dashed through every avenue and alley that they came across in an effort to confuse their path from the angry crowd behind them. The distance between the inn and the harbor's loading dock was no more than a few blocks, but they deliberately moved west, north, and east their town to lose their pursuers out near farm country before heading back south and west to their destination. The plan was to keep the people away long enough for them to gather their belongings and get back to the harbor in time for the next ship to arrive. Jack did not have much waiting for him at the inn. When he left the Carolinas several months earlier, he had brought with him a sack of 3 pants, 3 shirts, and matching undergarments. Nothing else of value. He had no mementos, keepsakes, nor letters from loved ones to forget. He had no literature, nor art, nor anything he would value as entertainment. On the ship to Havana, he had his own personal apple barrel and a pouch of drinking water, which he could refill at the community tank. Once he got in Havana, he had to resupply his own food and water with the coins he had kept in his clothing sack. While in Havana, he had bought a coin purse to keep better track of his money. The boat to Curacao had given him a new fruit barrel and water source to keep him alive, both of which he had left on that boat. What he had at the end was exactly what he had come here with: a sack of clothing, a water pouch, and his coin purse that was currently empty. He also had some bread left over from his visit to the bakery the night before. As soon as he followed the others into the inn and took the separate path to his own room, he was right back with them in the reception area, sack over his shoulder containing everything, including the bread, just a couple of minutes later. Your establishment was lovely, Ernest said to the innkeeper as he returned his room key. The other happy Playbody's castmates duplicated his words in action. Jack, not wanting to draw new attention himself, did the same. By the time he had gotten to the innkeeper simply nodded at him. Yes, yes, love your room and all. Glad you liked it. Come on back whenever you need. Jack flashed the innkeeper a smile as he felt a hand coming down on his shoulder. No time for chit-chat, mate, Ernest said. Time to go. They checked both sides of the street outside of the inn before making a run for it. Ignore that. The coast was clear, so the group leaders pitched forward, but Jack whispered at them to wait. Because it was so close to the equator, Curacao got dark around dinner time, and the sky was nearly there. As Willemstad officials moved along the avenues lighting the gas lamps, the natural light gave way to the artificial. This meant the edges of the road would remain in shadow. Jack suggested they stick to the edges. Good thinking, Ernest said. He gestured to the others to hold close to the walls of each building they passed, and to duck down alleys if it seemed one of the angry theater guests had gotten back to the main part of town. They held his course all the way back to the harbor, where they had the fortune of spotting a ship coming to dock. The stage on which they presented their critically panned show was in the middle of the harbor area, and they had to pass it in order to reach the loading area. Dock hands had already converted the stage into a loading bay for live animals and slaves, both of which were awaiting trade in the same exact place that Ernest had tried to perform an unscripted kiss on Regina. The seats where the locals had sat had all been cast aside or tossed upside down. Piles of rotten fruit and fish littered the ground by the stage. Jack was certain the happy Playbodies would not be invited back anytime soon. When they got to the loading area, Ernest asked about the ship's cargo and destination. It's some passenger ship, the dockhand said. The man was watching another man drag a group of slaves down the gangplank toward the stage by a long chain. Headed for Portugal next. Ernest reached in his pocket and handed over some coin. We'll take it. The dockhand took the coins and stuffed them into a tiny barrel by his feet, then pointed at the gangplank. Up you go. Ernest headed up the gangplank, and Oscar, Ignatius, and Fred followed suit. Jack and the others were hesitant. Something about this felt wrong. Okay, that's where we left off. I don't know yet if I think Regina's going to get on the ship. I think Upton will not. I think Upton's going to get on the ship with Jack and the other ship that's coming in with Jack and Maybelline. I got to figure out what the logistics are on that. Right now, we're not sure exactly what ship, if this really is a passenger ship as it goes back to Portugal, or if it's going to be a slave ship. That'll be the big mystery. So, needless to say, we're not going to probably see Ernest and the front group again, at least not in this story, maybe in a future book. I don't plan to bring them back, but then again, I wasn't planning on this being a slave ship either. So we'll see how that goes. Everything's organic when you're just kind of putting in details. So that's where we are right now. That's the state of Washed Up, A Pirate Adventure. I will keep writing it, but I'm going to be writing it off camera. I will have better days, I'm sure. Today was just, again, I'm okay now, but today was not an easy day. I want to get into it, but sometimes, life has got those curveballs that we're not ready for, but we have to deal with anyway. And I just, it's nothing I haven't been through before, but that's part of the problem is I've been through it before, and it's one of those things I kind of don't want to keep going through. So, anyway, that's about it. So, thanks for watching. Again, if you want to see more, just subscribe to the channel, and at some point I'll announce it. Or, you can follow my blog at zippywings.wordpress.com, and that's the name of that site is Drinking Cafe Latte at 1 p.m. It should be on my About page here. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for sticking around. So, hope this is worth your time. All right, thanks. Bye.